That's right, that's right. We back in the place right here. It's 90.9 FM KHDC here in Salinas, Santa Cruz, and Monterey. 104.1 FM out there in Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy. And
if you're online, check us out at WednesdayRec.com, or you could even give us a call at 831-758-5432, 831-758-KHDC.
Indeed, man. We are joined, very special guest joining us in the house right now, Johnny Zuko. What's up, brother?
Yo, how's it going? It's good to be back here, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a very long time.
A lot of things going on with you, so, you know, we want to address those because they're always controversial, you know. But,
quote.
Exactly, man. But real quick, you know, just to recap, you know, obviously making music out of Watsonville. What's going on with that, man?
So, about 2 years ago, I released my last album, street album, The Essence. And to me, I felt that was everything I needed to say. I felt that was a very complete work. I had a lot of people, you know, pitch in, help me out with that album. And I honestly felt it was just a good time to hang it up. I just, you know, I was just talking to Jason, and you know, he was just telling me how he got, like, how he's just wasn't into it. You know, I don't have passion for music anymore. It's just, I put the pen to paper and nothing comes out. It's like, where are my bars? Where's my 16? Like, I can't do it no more. So
yeah, it's hard.
You think that fire is completely gone, or is it still smoldering a little bit?
It's smoldering. It comes out in bursts.
You know what it could be? Sometimes you have to live a little bit.
Yeah.
Step away and live. Take a couple losses, and then come back and write about them.
Well, that's funny because a lot of my music, it actually came from all those. It came from, you know, a really dark place.
And that was my problem at one time as well. And now that we're both good, it's like, hard to...
Like, why do I want to go back and relive those kind of memories? You know what I mean? It's just like, I just feel that's kind of devolving. And plus, I'm pushing like my mid-30s.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing to say for these kids.
Yeah.
Hip-hop's like, you know, hip-hop's a young man's game.
Well, the good thing about what you're saying is that the genre of hip-hop is so big now that there's teeny bops and there's, you know, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds too. So, like, now pick your market and market to that market. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so much music that there's so many consumers that you're gonna attract a certain crowd. You know?
I always go back to a bar from NYG's, and it was hip hop's a young man's game. Nah, man, it was when it got fame. That what really changed. So what he's saying is the game got fame when, you know, it was still young.
Yeah.
And the game is just so vicious, it'll just chew you up and spit you out sometimes if you're just not with it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like, man, if I waited like maybe like 5 years, I could probably been a mumble rapper.
Yeah.
No, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
I could get all these views and clicks and all that and whatever. But no, I didn't sacrifice my artist integrity.
Right.
I just did what I had to do, and that's that, you know.
Yeah.
But my fire is into other things, and so my artistry is not dead. I'm just putting it in different places now, in a different form of storytelling.
You still have your music available online, though, right?
Yeah, they can check it out at johnnyzuko.bandcamp.com, and you can go to DatPiff and Google Johnny Zuko Z-Files.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, you know, speaking of one of those songs from the last album, we're going to get into the origins of the Boogeyman.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Origins of the Boogeyman. That's kind of your alter ego, right?
Yeah, that's my alter ego, and that actually came from, I watched a movie in my mid-20s. It was called Maniac.
It's only my number 2 favorite movie in the entire world.
Oh yeah, exactly. And
you know the guy who plays Maniac?
Joseph Spinell.
Yeah. So you know he was in Rocky.
He was in Rocky. He was in The Godfather.
And you know he helped write Rocky, right? He helped. Yeah.
And he's actually helped got him financing.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you can clearly tell what we're going to be talking about in the next segment.
Yeah.
Zuko is here for a purpose, and that's to talk about his podcast, which he is involved with now. So we're going to get to that in a few minutes, but first let's go back and check out the origins of the boogeyman.
Oh!
All right, man, we back in the place right here. It is 90.9 FM KHDC Radio Bilingüe here in Salinas, Santa Cruz, and Monterey. 104.1 FM out there, Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy.
And if you're online, check us out at WednesdayRec.com or give us a call at 831-758-5432, 831-758-KHDC.
Exactly. The man, Johnny Zuko, still in studio. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Man,
Thank you for having me, by the way.
I feel, absolutely, man. I feel like we already did the interview.
Right, we did it all off air.
I think it already happened.
Yeah.
So.
You validate parking, by the way?
Yeah, right. So the reason Zuko came through this week is you got a podcast that you're doing now. Tell me about the podcast.
So I have a podcast. It's a horror podcast. It's called Bump in the Night Podcast. And it's me and my friend Ellie Ginger Snap Benz. And we basically talk all things horror. Anything from horror remakes to movies to horror news to urban legends to true crime. You know, and we clash a lot because we do not have similar taste or similar views on certain movies.
Can I ask you a horror question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You like Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Do you remember part 1, the gas station that they pull up to and they get gas?
Yeah, yeah.
In the van, you know that gas station?
Yeah.
Did you know that they reopened that gas station?
As a B&B?
You already know. Yes. Have you stayed over there yet?
No, I haven't. That's actually on the list.
Yes.
And on one of the sites we plan to visit. Our podcast is, we generally are trying to eventually branch out of our podcast and actually go into shorts. And one of the reasons she's not here is because she is working on a set location for a movie called Vertigo, Hitchcock directed out in San Juan Bautista. And she's going over scenes as where we can go, and so we're going to visit those locations and talk about how those scenes impacted the movie, how they shot it, stuff like that. So we're going to take you on a tour on, you know, how this movie was made around here, you know, because this movie was made in Monterey, Carmel, San Juan Bautista, and then we're going to do The Lost Boys after that, and then us.
Because a lot of people think Lost Boys was filmed right there. The bridge was right there in Santa Cruz, but it really wasn't.
No, it's actually, because I just found this out too myself, and it was actually on Highway 9, I believe, right?
Yeah, we're going down south, right?
Yeah.
Right, I think close to Century City, somewhere around there.
I don't think it's Century City. I think it was up by Redwood.
Well, here's where I have to dispute with both of you because
here we go.
The summer of '86, I was there when they were filming Lost Boys. I know that they filmed at the boardwalk.
They filmed that, but you remember the
bridge
famous bridge scene where they fall off that bridge?
Oh,
Everybody thinks it's that bridge, but it's not.
Oh,
it's a different bridge.
Yeah,
so you're saying it's not the trestle that goes to East Cliff?
It's not even in Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they were filming down there.
Yeah.
But,
the rest of them.
You know, I'm not in any way a horror movie aficionado. So the only real trivia question I could ask Zuko to make sure that he's legit with his horror expertise. Who was the killer in Friday the 13th?
Pamela. Pamela Reese.
The mother. Yeah. Exactly. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's Jason."
Part 1.
A lot of people say, "Oh, Jason's the killer." No, part 1 is the mother was the killer.
Yeah, it was the mom. And Friday the 13th, if you watch the first one, is actually a whodunit movie. It's not even a slasher. It's like Psycho, kind of, if you think about it.
The only reason I know that movie as kind of well as I do is because Kevin Bacon's in that movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you know. But so what makes a good horror movie?
What makes a good? That's a good question. You kind of have to define what horror is, and you kind of have to. Honestly, it's a person by person. Some people like psychological. Some people like splatter. You know what scares you, man?
This is what scares me. A big, crazy white guy with a knife. No ghosts. No vampires, no monsters.
Has to be racist.
Scream?
That's usually what the villains are, though, right?
Well,
the villains are
those dude's not big, though. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, someone just someone who doesn't look menacing.
Yeah.
That's menacing.
Michael
to me.
Myers.
Yeah,
What scares you?
Anything with jump scares, honestly. I mean, like when it's well done, especially, and you like go into a creepy. Even if there's like no sound and it's creepy as heck, that can scare me too. Like that movie, The Witch.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one I'm talking?
Yeah.
They did I mean, there was only like 1 or 2 jump scares, but they did a good job. I thought
Of building up those scares.
Yeah, and you were just like creeped out the whole time. I will say that. I do have a question for you, horror-wise, but I don't know if you guys want to say anything before. Oh, okay.
Good.
How do you feel about the older movies like the Alfred Hitchcock movies, like you said, Psycho or The Birds or anything like that?
So those movies are more like those movies. They have to earn your because I was raised in the 90s, so like to me, I watched a lot of the slasher movies from the golden era. So Alfred Hitchcock, for me personally, is like a blind spot for me.
Okay.
My partner Ellie Benzo, she loves Alfred Hitchcock, and to her that is like one of the best directors at creating suspense. They don't call him master suspense for nothing,
Right.
Look at Psycho. Look at the way he built up that shower scene, which is so iconic. If you still watch it today, man, that still holds weight.
Yeah, I mean, especially
still holds weight.
The camera shot to the shower head and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
everything in the frame, where you think it's an accident, but that empty space is going to be filled with something. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Especially the sound editing. If you have like good surround sound, you can hear it building.
Very true.
And you don't see nothing in that. It's the music that makes that scene work so well.
Yes, very true.
So what would you classify yourself? More of a slasher horror movie fan or a psychological?
I like slashers because I feel that they're fun and they're campy. A bad slasher is the best slasher no one's ever seen. That's just my point. If you watch Splatter University, that's an awful movie, but it is pretty awesome.
How about Sleepaway Camp?
Oh, that is awesome.
Or Nightbreed. Remember that one?
Oh, Nightbreed. That's actually good.
I got one for you, and this is because I kind of know her. Nightmare Man.
Nightmare Man.
You know that one?
No.
With Tiffany Shepis.
I know who Tiffany Shepis is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare Man. Was that one of the After Dark movies?
It came out probably around 2008, 9, maybe around there.
I think that one I missed.
Yeah, you can check for that.
Nightmare Man. Okay.
Nightmare Man.
That's on the list.
What about haunted houses? You guys go check out the Scream Overload one up there in Pleasanton?
Yeah, but the thing with that is that now it's privately owned, so now we have to get permission to go up and take tours and stuff like that. They're actually going to do a tour up there for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
So me and my partner are feverishly trying to get tickets and go, or try to get the dude to be interviewed on the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I was there just last Halloween. I went to the Scream Fear Overload haunted house up there. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I checked it out. It was pretty cool. It's at the mall over there, up in Pleasanton.
Pleasanton. I'm not familiar with that.
It's like 2 hours from here.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll go anywhere for a haunted house, man. I'm a horror buff as well.
Okay, what were your thoughts on The Day Tripper?
The Day Tripper.
The David Arquette movie that they filmed up in.
Oh man. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just taking for next.
Okay, so I actually like that movie. I actually think that's criminally underrated. I love the Ronald Reagan mask. That is awesome. And Pee Wee Herman playing a sleazy promoter. I mean, what more can you want? That's awesome. The one thing I regret is that he premiered it at the Del Mar on 4/20, I think 2007, at a midnight showing, and I didn't go. And he was going to be there and doing a Q&A. And I regret not going to that, because that would have been an awesome to see with that crowd.
Have you had a chance to go when they show the Lost Boys at the boardwalk and when Corey Feldman is there? Have you been there for that?
No, that night I was working and I was trying to sneak away from my shift, so I hope my boss wasn't listening. I was trying to go and see if I can do that, but apparently he actually no-showed, from what I heard.
No, he was there.
Oh, he was there?
Well, there were twice there. One time he no-showed, but I think it was on the 25th anniversary he was there.
Okay, because I know he was supposed to be there last year, and he was...
No, he wasn't there last year.
He wasn't there.
No. What would you say is the greatest horror movie of all time? As an expert.
You know, for me personally, I know my co-host will disagree, and I will get like stuff for it later. But I honestly think Nightmare on Elm Street. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is probably one of the greatest horror movies, just because of the dream sequences and how scary Freddy Krueger is in that movie. He is creepy and very evil in that movie. That scene when he comes, when he just grabs Johnny Depp, or he cuts off his own fingers and says, "This is God." And the one thing that does that, the one thing that
boyfriend now.
Nancy. Is the music to that. I listen to that music and it still gives me goosebumps. That's how much effect that movie had on me. But I watched that as a kid, so to me, I still watch it as like from that kid's perspective. I know my co-host would say about The Thing or Halloween. Both of those are really good too, and they both have really good scares.
You know, I enjoyed it, but I know some people didn't. What did you think of Freddy versus Jason? Did they go too comical with it?
No, you kind of needed to at that point, because by that point, Jason and Freddy have gone comical.
Yeah, Jason X.
Yeah, you had Jason X, you had Jason Lives, Jason takes Manhattan for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell.
That was the last one or whatever.
And so you kind of had to go that route. My big issue with that movie is that Kane Hodder was not Jason.
Yeah.
That was bull. And I watched the Kane Hodder documentary. They gave him the offer. He was slated to be in there. Right when they were going to film, they fired him. And so I will not watch that movie to this day.
What's the name of the actress that was in that movie? Not Kelly Rowland, but her friend, the
Monica Keena.
Ooh, she's cute. She's a cute one. Okay, what's the worst horror movie?
The worst?
Yeah, that's just like you watch it, you're like, why did they even make this? What is the point?
I would have to say, what's the worst? Demons 2. Because it's basically like a retelling of Demoni, the first one. Demons 2, there's really no point for that movie. That movie was garbage from the get-go. They try to capitalize on the name and try to capitalize on Mario Bava's name. I think Demons 2 just doesn't work as a movie in general. It's not even enjoyable.
Okay.
What about Evil Dead? What's your opinion? At least the first movie.
I love Evil Dead, and I actually like the remake a lot. Evil Dead, especially if you're an aspiring filmmaker, that is a really good way to soak up game, because Sam Raimi did that all DIY. He did it himself. You know what I mean? He went in with like 10,000 or 20,000, and he just did it. You know, Evil Dead works to this day. I do recommend, though, if you watch it, try not to watch the HD version, because that moonlight scene is going to look terrible. I'm just throwing that out there. If you have the original DVD, or you can find that, or if you can, you know, watch it on there.
Two more questions, because I want to get this out of the way. Have you ever gone to that haunted house thing they do in Hollister every year?
Swank?
Over there at, like, the cornfields, I think?
Yeah, Swank.
I've been to that. Wow. At least the one I went to in like 2011, that like I was still shaking for like 10 minutes out of that.
So
that was crazy.
I went 2 years ago and I was disappointed.
Oh well, I went in 2011, so
it was. I waited in line for 45 minutes.
I didn't have to do that.
And nothing. Like none of them tried to scare me. They just walked by and like, hey. Like, you're doing a job. What are you doing?
Yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen to me, man. It was like you know, like people were in character.
I just feel like they were over it at that point, because I was going like maybe 2 weeks like into Halloween. And I think that point they were just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. And then the other question is, how do you feel about the direction Evil Dead took? Like the whole Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. I mean, they still do Ash versus Evil Dead now. They have that series, so I'm just curious what you think of that.
I think, so, I don't think I got a whole lot of time to go into it, but I will say Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and into Ash versus Evil Dead, if you just watch those three, you can kind of get the point. Evil Dead is a special circumstance because they didn't have the rights to make the sequel to that one, because the distributor kind of messed them, screwed them over distribution. So they had to remake the original with Evil Dead 2, and so when he got more money, he's, you know what, I'm just going to make this a slapstick comedy. And it actually worked, too. I actually liked Army of Darkness. I still watch it to this day, and I burst up laughing. I think it's so hilarious. And even the show is, like, hilarious. Like, I don't even know.
Alright. Speaking of series that just came to me, American Horror Story.
Garbage.
Oh, that I've heard.
Garbage.
Okay, so segueing from that to other what I feel is garbage, and this could be
here we go.
controversial. Why do the Jordan Peele movies suck?
Oh! Okay.
Us and Get Out. I wanted to get out of the theater. I should have never
For
even
both of
went.
them?
And Us, I was like, what's the point of this?
Okay, so before I can answer that, I would have to know your argument on why you think those movies are not good.
Because there was so much hype for Get Out. When I watched it, I was like waiting, and then all of a sudden the credits are rolling. I'm like, okay, that's it. And with Us, I was just like, again, kind of like, where is this going? So what? There's people that live under the boardwalk.
Well, actually, the people do live under the boardwalk.
Yeah, they're called the Night Crew.
Yeah, that's actually an inside joke if you live in Santa Cruz. So I actually like Get Out and Us. To me, I feel there was a lot of pressure on Jordan because he's coming from a comedic background, and he had this pressure. And the question is, can he deliver a solid horror film? Can he deliver? Again, Get Out came out. I think Get Out, when that came out...
What is that? That's psychological?
Yeah, psychological horror. But at the time that movie came out, the reason I feel it has such an impact is because you have to look at today's society and the politics that we deal with and the racism that's going on and the culture and, you know, appropriation of black culture. I think when it came out, when it did, I think it just took off and it got a life of its own. Because you really can't talk about that movie without bringing politics and racism and all that stuff into it. Because if you think about it, that's really a deep movie to do. As for Us...
Well, let me pause you right there.
Okay.
So that being said, do we really want political views expressed in a horror movie?
Well, political views and gender issues and sexual issues, they have all been social issues, they have all been prevalent in horror movies. They've just been told in different ways, and they've been hidden behind a man with a mask, like the Purge movies talk about, you know, the social commentary on how people are, and that's kind of...
Never seen one of them.
Okay, well, so that's one of those things, you know, so I think that's why Get Out has such an impact. As for Us, that was just a left turn for everyone. It was just Jordan Peele to experiment, because I'm going to throw everything at you, and I'm going to see if you can catch everything.
The only thing about that movie that I thought was redeeming was the one soundbite where he says, "Welcome to Santa Cruz." That's the only thing I took away from that movie.
Yeah, you shouldn't even have said that. You should have said, "Welcome to Santa Carla."
There you go.
I know, right? I know, right?
By the way, we can't forget the Alien movies, at least the first one, because that was more of like a sci-fi horror, wasn't it?
Yeah, so people think they want to lump sci-fi into its own category, but sci-fi actually has its... You know, there's also sci-fi horror. Alien is, if you look at the first Alien, it's basically a haunted house in space. That's all it is.
How about Stanley Kubrick? Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Probably my #1 favorite movie in the entire world.
Next to Maniac.
Next, Maniac is part 2. #2 for me.
See, now the thing with Clockwork is not really a horror movie, it's a thriller.
Yeah.
So you can make the argument that it is, but it is horrifying. The acts that he commits are horrifying. Yeah. Especially with that big statue that he does with that girl. It's...
Yeah. Have you seen this movie that we're talking about?
Excuse me.
No.
You haven't seen Clockwork Orange?
How about...
I've seen Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about... What's the other one you were saying?
No, the director of that movie is Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, yeah.
He did Full Metal Jacket,
The Shining.
AI, The Shining.
Probably one of the greatest horror films ever.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people...
You got to get on the mic, dude.
Hey, well, he has it. He's not giving it to me. But anyway,
Take it.
Okay, fair. But anyway, people argue that's one of the greatest horror movies ever made. The Shining. So I'm just saying people already.
The Shining was really good. I like that.
Shining's good.
What about Doll Man? Is Doll Man a horror movie?
No.
You're talking about Full Moon, right? You're talking about the little short dude?
Yeah, either like an alien bounty hunter or something. Yeah.
Dollman is sci-fi, but when he fights the demonic toys, that's horror.
Okay.
You seen Dollman versus demonic toys?
No.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay. Well, you know what you guys were talking about off the air before, the whole Child's Play thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to finish up on that?
Okay, so I don't know where to go with this. Okay. Child's Play. People need to get over. People need to get over the fact that it's a remake. Honestly, if you look at this movie as its own movie, it works. People need to get over the fact that, oh man, there's like 6 other movies and they could have picked and choose, and yet they went this direction. Honestly, they went that direction for a reason. We have smart cars, we have smart fridges, toys, dolls, stuff like that. We're technological advanced now. I mean, it made sense for him to do that, for them to go that way. Mark Hamill's performance was very robotic, but it was robotic by design. He didn't break character toward the end. And there was a lot of great ideas. I shouldn't say great. I'm going to eat crow on that. Good ideas implemented in that movie, but yet never touched upon. Like the isolation of the kid, the playbacks of the cat being murdered. That stuff's creepy.
Did the original guy that goes into the doll, did he make an appearance in the
No.
Not at all?
The funny thing, and another thing that have fans of this franchise in an uproar is that universe or that franchise, Child's Play, is actually getting a TV series.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
And it's greenlit, and they're in production, filming these episodes. And that's one of the reasons why people are up in arms about it, because like we're having 2 Chuckies. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Is Bride of Chucky mentioned anywhere?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Oh wait, in the remake or in the
remake?
Oh no, the remake has nothing to do with any of it.
Yeah.
They only share the look of the doll, not the name. They even try to name the doll Han Solo.
Really? Oh wow.
But which I feel was kind of a jab.
Right. Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, this is the kind of stuff that you can hear on the Bump in the Night podcast. How can people check this out?
You can check us out at bumpinthenight1428.podbean.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Bump in the Night Podcast 1428. The 1428 is Freddy Krueger's address, so that's why we put that there. It's mainly because I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
Have you ever met Robert Englund?
No. When he was in Silicon Valley, I was in New Orleans booing Charlotte Flair, so that's how that works.
Well, that could be a whole other podcast, but we're almost out of time here, man. So I want to thank you for coming by this week.
Thank you for having me.
Talk about the podcast. We're going to get out of here with another one from Zuko, The American Nightmare.
Oh, nice.
Which, ironically, kind of ties into the other topic we can get into, because that's somebody else's nickname now.
Oh, yeah.
We'll touch on that off air.
Exactly.
All elite, baby.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Shut up.
I'm kidding.
Double or nothing.
No.
Nothing, please. All right. So, again, this is Zuko, The American Nightmare. Thanks for coming through this week, and I will be back next week.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.